like in other parts of the world at that time, other races or other nationalities that came into the empires, quote unquote, were of different castes. Whether it was the Eastern Roman Empire, whether it was the Persian Empire. But in this young Muslim nation, it was only in that situation where Jews, idol worshippers, and Muslims all shared citizenship equally. And no one had rights different than the other. You see what I'm saying? Like they shared those rights.
Perhaps that might have been in that circumstance. I'm just saying that there seems like a lot of other circumstances.
Those aren't Islamic, though. I need to clarify that there isn't really an Islamic entity in the world today. Like Saudi Arabia is so un-Islamic. I mean, it's so emphatically un-Islamic. When I say un-Islamic, I don't mean un-Islamic in that like there's one thing they don't do. I'm talking about it's so against what the Prophet came with. The Prophet came with, number one, that people are supposed to elect their government.
I'm just saying it's not a shared vision. But the vision that you have is not necessarily the same vision.
That's the problem we have.
That everyone has.
Without a doubt. So
under the umbrella of Islam.
Sure, but I mean, I could be under the umbrella of anything, you know, and claim anything, and then just start saying things that aren't part of that thing. You know what I mean? What I'm sharing is, well, we always go back to what the Prophet came with. So, yes.
Thank you, Francis.
No problem. But it's very good that you brought that up. I appreciate it. Yes. So back to the subject, right? I'll tell you how you can change it. We can change it by being, so first we need to recognize what is our culture. For American Muslims, we need to recognize what is the culture of American Muslims. And to be quite frank, the culture of American Muslims is the culture of America. That's all there is to it. So anyone who's an American Muslim who tries to adopt a culture that's not their own is not being, I mean, that's not Islamic per se. The thing that differs about a Muslim from a non-Muslim is not culture. It's a belief, and there's certain practices. So for instance, I need to dress modest. So when I go swimming, I wear one of those swim shirts, which they sell at Old Navy and other guys wear it. Other guys might wear it because they want to cover up other things. I wear it because I'm Muslim. Okay? So does that make me un-American because I have to wear a swim shirt when I swim instead of just wearing my shorts? No. But it does make it necessary that I wear a swim shirt. Now, I don't need to wear a thobe to be a Muslim. I don't need to wear a thobe to be a better Muslim. I don't need to wear a head. Now, there are Muslims who may disagree with me. But the fact is that what the Prophet came with very clearly was that he was so much like his people. Allah said in the Quran, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا مِن رَسُولٍ إِلَّا بِلِسَانِ قَوْمِهِ لِيُبَيِّنَ لَهُمْ. We did not send forth a prophet or messenger except by the tongue, by the mannerisms, by the way of speech of his people, so that it becomes clear to them. And I want to point out something to people who know Islamic history. Who knows Hamza, the uncle of the Prophet, right? Who was cooler than Hamza? Right? In the peninsula, right? He was like the coolest guy. He didn't change after he became Muslim to be this really weird guy who ended up dressing differently and doing different activities. He did the same things. He did the exact same activities. He did the same cool things. In fact, he became cooler because he became hard, right? No, but seriously, he was, I mean, so there's nothing that you have to do, there's nothing that stops you from being just like any of your peers, except that you need to dress modestly. And for women, there is a little more that they need to cover up than men, yes. But men still need to dress modestly. Like I see some guys sometimes walking around with their tight shirts because they go working out, you know, at the gym. And I'm not, you know, making people feel bad about working out, or about looking big, but it's the same thing for a man or a woman. A man needs to dress modestly. That doesn't mean they have to look foreign. That doesn't mean that and a woman in a scarf and a hijab doesn't look foreign. It only looks foreign because we aren't allowing ourselves to make it part of our culture, right? Now, what I'm trying to say is that the Prophet ﷺ, he was so like his people. In fact, Allah made it very emphatic that all the prophets were sent forth from the coolest families among the people. I know it's not stated as coolest when you read like the translations of history. It's stated as the most honorable and the most liked and the most mentioned. But what it means in our context is they were the coolest. They were like the most looked up to. They were the most, and their prophets came forth from them. They didn't end up, God didn't tell them change the way you look, change the way you talk, change the way you think, no. All he said was there is one God. Change your motivation in what you're doing in life to be for Him. So instead of you living life for how much you can accumulate now, live life for how much you can give back to humanity. And God will give you the best accumulation we got. That was the change. That change meant that some things had to change. Like if the culture had a lot of alcohol consumption, which I know our culture today somewhat does. Like there's a lot of happy hours that I end up not going to. But there's some that I go to because my work co-workers will observe not to drink while I'm there. And then as soon as I leave, of course, they get all curious and all. But still, you know what I'm saying? I don't have to completely remove myself from the culture. Now, the fact is that those are the things that have to change. The things that we believe are wrong actions. But anything else, in fact, it's commended to be part of the culture. It's commended to speak the language of the people. It's commended to be relevant. And once you become irrelevant to your people, all right? Once you become irrelevant to your people, forget about convincing them that what you have is something good. Because why would someone buy into something except those rare gems, right? There are rare gems of people who look for to be the rebel in their family, right? Or look to be like this changer of everything upside down in their lives and the lives of others. But most people don't want to change a whole lot. And they don't have to change a whole lot. All they have to do is think about life a little bit different. That this life is very small. Right? We've existed for how long? So I'm 30 years old. I just turned 30. So how long have I existed? What's that? No. That's a trick question. So he said 30 years. 31 years now. What's that? 30 years ago. That's a trick. Yes. Sorry, is that louder? No, but that's a decent answer. We'll talk about that later. It's for billions and billions of years. That's fact. All of us have existed for billions of years. How do I know that? Yes. Yes, that's right. Our soul. Because we are our soul, right? I mean, these bodies that we're in, they're just matter. As soon as your soul leaves your body, it's just matter. It's going to turn to dust, right? So each of us has existed for billions of years. Everyone here, everyone that's walking by has been existing for, well, I don't know about billions. Maybe, I think billions because of, with all the heart attacks and stuff like that. And there's nothing in the Quran, by the way, that negates dinosaurs. There's nothing in the Quran that negates that the earth has been around for gazillions of years. There's nothing in the Quran that negates Big Bang. There's nothing in the Quran, in fact, the Quran talks about Big Bang. Who can tell me the ayah where the Quran talks about Big Bang? Does anyone know? What's that? No, that's where the heavens keep expanding, right? But God says, do they not see that the earth and the heavens were as one, and we exploded them apart? And from water we created everything that's there. So God talks about the Big Bang in the Quran. Now, did Muhammad ﷺ have all the research that people did 10 years ago, 15 years ago, or 20?